up, guys? So today we are in my home garage. This is just another one of the things that you can do in your own garage, even if you don't have a lift or anything, which unfortunately I do not. So I've gone ahead and already got the car jacked up. It's on jack stands and everything. But today we are going to be installing transmission mount bushing kit from Overtake. First of all, let's go ahead and get it unboxed, unpackaged, and see what we got. All right, so let's see what the package contains. So obviously you get your bushings. Now, one thing to keep in mind, these are all labeled. So you have 10 to 32, 10 to 31, and 10 to 30. And you have two of the 32s. So when you are taking apart everything, just make sure that you pay attention because these are location specific. Have some nice replacement bushings. The ones that come on the car technically can be reused. Again, different sizes. You don't really want to reuse the ones on the car because they're going to be crusty and nobody likes crusty bushings. And you get a little tube of super lube. No. Okay. Kind of. Okay. Anyway, super lube. And the ever important Overtake sticker. That'll go on the garage fridge here shortly. All right, so we're going to get underneath there and go ahead and get started. I'll show you kind of what we need to take off and everything we need to do here. All right, so before we get too crazy under the car, I'm going to put a couple of these together. So the two similar ones, and by similar I mean exactly the same numbers on each one. One goes with your thicker bushing. The other one goes with the odd one out, the thinner bushing. So just so I'm not trying to do this while I'm under there, get your two shorter ones and your two longer ones. Now obviously the longer ones are going to go with your thicker bushing. Get a little lube on there. Grease it up nice. And then with these they have an angled kind of chamfered hole on there. So you just want to put it in that side. All right, so got that nice and greased up. So these are just going to go right in there. Voila. So that's one, and then this is going to end up going on here like that when you get it installed. So let's do this one. Whoa, got away from me a little bit. Again. Install it in the short side. There we go. As usual, I forgot a rag. Luckily, I have some laying literally all over this garage. Yeah, I'm always envious of everybody that keeps a nice, clean, organized garage. I am not that guy. All right, so we got these relatively mocked up here. Next up, we're going to go under the car and I'll show you kind of where to support the transmission. You definitely want to give it some support because otherwise it's going to put a lot of strain on the rest of the drivetrain when you do loosen up the OEM mounts. So let's go take a look at that. Welcome to the underside of my car. So just going to turn you around here a little bit. This is your transmission mount. You have 2 bushings right here, and then you have 2 more right here. So these are just regular old 14 mil bolts all the way along here. Now, technically speaking, you do not need to remove everything. So we're going to try doing this without taking everything off first, and then, you know, make adjustments as we go. So first off, we need to support this transmission. I'm just using a small little jack. All right. So I just used a couple of riser blocks and a rubber jack stand on jack pad underneath the transmission pan here. These are like a rubber cork material, so they're not going to like dent anything or anything like that. But you don't even actually need like a hydraulic jack for this. Just something that is going to hold this up. So if you have like a jack stand, like one of the ones where you can thread it out to a specific height, that would work just as fine. But we got it supported, so let's start taking off some bolts. All right, I'm gonna start working on these first. Just do the back ones and then we'll move to the front. So ooh-wee. Nothing beats a little bit of good old-fashioned arm power. All right. See how puffy that is? Gross. Ugh. All right, here's one. So there's one of these, and just to show you, that is how much flex the OEM ones have. Now if we look at overtake ones, look at that. That's going to make a huge difference. Specifically, supposedly you're really going to notice a difference in your 2 to 3 shifts. Come on. There we go. All right. So if you take a look at these, you got your thick one and your thinner one. match those up. Those are gonna match at least the thickness. Obviously, it will not match the performance. So this one, pull this down, set the new one in. There we go. Get it lined up with those bolt holes. All right. Let's just see what I'm seeing here. All right, so I just have these lined up with the bolt holes on the other side. So right about there. And there. You grab your thin one, pop it up in there, give it a nice press. I'm gonna reuse our bracket here. Definitely reuse your bracket, because otherwise you'll be bolting into a soft surface, and that will not turn out well. It's tight. All right. There, back one is done. Time to move to the front. All right, here's your front ones. So you got a bushing right here. This is the cross member that runs laterally across the car. And you have one on top and one on bottom. Those came off much easier. I was hoping I wouldn't have to loosen these up, but grabbed my 17 just in case, and looks like we're gonna need it. Not really a good place to get a ratchet on here and get some leverage. Oh man. So. Oh man, that is on there. All right, time to bring out the big guns. Okay, when all else fails, bigger impact. Might as well just take it off, huh? Oh, these are so crusty, I can't get it out without undoing these ones too. This little impact is basically just a electric screwdriver. There we go. All right. So, got it off. Just gonna pull the old floppy bushing off. Take 1/2 of your beautiful new overtake bushing and put it back on just like that. Pull that down. Press everything in. And before I tighten all that up, I'm gonna go ahead, now that I got that on there, tighten this stuff back up. It's like I knew I was gonna take it off. Good. Good. Throw this bad boy back up. Oops. It's like, why isn't this fitting? That's why. Gosh. Okay. And there's a little bit of a lip on this cross member. And the lip should go in front of your bushing. So, where are my bolts? There we go. One and two. Zip, zip. Least throw the nuts back on here. Now this part is going to be a little tricky. Gotta have two hands. Let's see. Alright, this is where our little non-impact impact wrench is going to come in handy. Because I want to at least get it started. There. Somebody out there is probably like, why don't you just do it like this? Because in the moment I didn't know any better. Hand test. Tight. 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 Just double check the back ones. Tight. And got a little bit of turn out of that one. Anywhere. All right, there, that's pretty much it. So got them all replaced. Just given how flexible these are, you can imagine, like, if you're doing some nice spirited driving, how much this whole thing, which is anchored right here, is going to be flexing back and forth. And anytime it flexes, things aren't lined up where they should be. Shifts don't happen exactly the same every time. This just adds a good amount of consistency and accuracy to your ability to shift exactly the way you want to shift when you want to. So I will end this with just a video driving, testing it out. But if you guys have any questions, make sure you hop in the comments. Let me know if you saw anything I did that I could have done differently as far as making this easier, even though this was a super easy install. Let me know. I'm always up for learning more. But yeah, I mean, I've been out here for maybe 20 minutes in my home garage, not, on a lift or anything. So this is something that can make a big difference for your driving experience that you can easily do right at home. So I highly encourage you to go ahead and get out the jack, get the car off the ground, and go ahead and make your driving experience that much more enjoyable. All right, guys, here comes the test drive. All right, so I am on my way home from work, which is why I am slightly overdressed for the occasion. But I didn't get a chance to test this out this morning, so let's see how this 2.3 goes. So, final take, absolutely makes a difference. No other way to describe it except for it is cleaner, crisper. That 2-3 shift, me personally, it always gave me problems. But now it's literally, so 1, 2, it's like there's not even space to mess it up anymore. The bushings that were on there just allowed for so much wiggle room, literally, that under heavy loads, the loads, the transmission just moves so much that that third gear shift was technically never in the same spot. So yeah, I absolutely go out, grab it. You can do it in your garage. I did it in mine in like 20 minutes. It very well might be one of the more noticeable upgrades that you can do for very little money. So, hop down to the comments. Let me know if you've done it and if you've noticed a difference. Let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, sorry, I'm just out of words. I'm surprised that it makes as big of a difference as it makes. And I'm almost more surprised that, well, maybe not. I was gonna say I'm more surprised that Subaru allowed that much room for error, but they make some weird decisions sometimes. What can you do? All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you watching. I'll be back with another one here soon. I still have the turbo inlet full video to put together, well, finish putting together. Almost done with that, and then I have the rear diff bushings still to put in. I'll probably do that this weekend. But all right, till the next one. Peace.